A few weeks ago, we did a story on the program about a girl who was 18 years old, living in California at the time that she was raped. And the story was that her boyfriend had left a dark room when another man took notice of this, entered the room, and forcibly had sex with this woman, raped this 18-year-old woman. The victim believed that the man was actually the boyfriend who had recently departed the room until some sunlight shined on the intruder's face, at which point she began to scream, resist, realizing that she was being raped. Now, this happened in Los Angeles County, and there's this legal loophole that exists where, dating back to a law in the 1870s, if an attacker impersonates a woman's husband to have sex with her, it is considered rape. But if the woman is not married, and then if it's the same situation with an unmarried woman where she mistakenly believes her rapist is actually, in this case, her boyfriend rather than her husband, the man cannot be charged with rape. Now, the judges in the case realized that this was an outdated law that made absolutely no sense today, but said based on the way the law is written and the fact that it has not been changed or repealed, we simply cannot rule any other way but to say this man is not guilty of rape. Lewis, you remember this story.
Oh, how could I forget? Yeah, of course.
So we finally now have news that California Governor Jerry Brown has signed legislation just yesterday that closes this loophole regarding rape in California. And it now makes an aggressor who impersonates someone else in order to force a victim into having sex with them still is guilty of rape, regardless of whether that woman is married or not. This is very, very good news. We have quotes from a number of different people. Now, here's the incredible thing, Lewis. Assemblymember Cacho Achajian from San Luis Obispo has been working on a bill to close this loophole since 2011, and it was stalled in a public safety committee in the Senate. 143 years it took to fix this law, and part of that delay, at least most recently, it was stalled in the Senate in this committee. I understand there are all sorts of bureaucratic issues. This was a high priority to resolve.
I think so. Yeah, it's definitely about time. And unfortunately, who knows how many cases there were where this loophole let people get away. One is way too many.
Yeah, and not only that, this is an example of so many laws. We've talked on this show a lot about how laws related to internet-related stuff often are written by people who don't understand or really use the internet, and they're not written taking into consideration how the internet is actually used today. That expands beyond just the internet. There are many laws in I would assume in all states, but certainly in many states, that are old laws, not often applied or used to make legal decisions, and as such, they're completely out of place, completely outdated, but at the same time, the few times that law is called into question or becomes the center of a case, there's really not much anyone can do, and it leads to absolutely disastrous legal outcomes, as we saw in this particular case.
Right. There are probably a handful of ridiculous, outdated laws that in certain incredibly rare situations would let people get away with heinous crimes. Unfortunately, they don't come up often enough.
Well, in the interest of being positive, this is one legal loophole that hopefully has been resolved, and we will not see rapists go unpunished as a result of it in California anymore.